Hello, everybody. I'm so confusing. It said it was connecting, and okay, but I'm going to put another little mini story in right now. So go ahead and figure out how to skip my mini story because I don't know how long it's going to take. I'm going to say we're only doing one chapter again, so it's going to be part 13, chapter 13, because I tried to get here at like 8, 9 o'clock, but my computer decided it was going to do an update with, it wanted to update, so it started updating, and I decided I was going to paint. I painted a little box. I painted the side of a little box that says cosplay cash, because I'm trying to save up some money for cosplay, and I don't have anywhere to put my saved money, so I painted the side of a little box. It looks like shit, but it's cute at the same time. I don't know how that's possible, but yeah, it's possible. I am seriously tired. I actually want to do other things tonight after recording, but that ain't happening. So it's gonna have to be a tomorrow thing. I got studying tomorrow. Never mind. So today we are reading His Reasons. It's a Todoroki X-Reader fanfic by AshleyH713. The lisp got worse today. We had family over, and I had trouble saying TH, like in any word. I was having problems with. I've gotten better now that I'm tired. It kind of went away for a lot of the words. I can say the again. I was having a struggle with that word all day today. I don't know why. It started to piss me off. No, but yeah, we're gonna do chapter 13, season 2, chapter 13 today, in this part 13, at 10:01 on the 22nd. It's gonna be posted on the 24th, so yeah. I've already made this last too long, it's been a minute. So let's begin, season 2, chapter 13. The next day approached, and Amari sat down at the kitchen table, just stirring her cereal around with a spoon slowly. All she could think about was the challenges ahead of her. It was very clear that Endeavor hated her, and that he would probably try everything within his power to take her down, attempting to make her quit. Too bad he didn't know who he was dealing with. Sighing heavily, Amari paused when she caught Katsuki descending the stairway in a loud manner, now staring at his appearance with wide eyes. "Good morning, Katsuki." His normal spiky hair was now replaced with a neat and combed-down look. It was honestly one of the funniest things she'd seen in a while. What had Best Genus done to him? Narrowing his eyes in anger, her brother replied, "Don't even go there." Staring at the surface, Amari couldn't help but chuckle, covering her mouth slightly, much to his dismay. "Hey, shut up, will you? I'm gonna kick your ass if you don't quit it." She clamped her mouth shut then, although a tiny giggle still managed to escape. "Sorry, Katsuki, but what happened? You look different." He wasn't happy with the heckling, so for revenge, Katsuki moved to assist her before pushing her head down for a moment, still clearly upset. "I said quit it. It's all that dumbass's fault. I can't believe he's making me wear this." By dumbass, Amari knew he meant Best Genus, now dropping her spoon in her bowl. "Wow, and I thought I had it rough." Slumping down in his seat, Bakugo took the bowl of cereal out of her hands and taking a big bite. It was his revenge for laughing at him. "It doesn't matter what that bastard does. I'm still going to be the best regardless." Looking down at her empty hands, Amari saddened a bit. She guessed she was finished with breakfast. "I don't doubt it." Bakugo took another bite before noticing her sadness, feeling immediately bad for stealing her food. Why was she always so dramatic? "How is it over at that other bastard's agency? You're with Icy Hot's father, right?" Nodding her head, he saw her sigh heavily, now tapping her fingers on the table. "Yeah, it doesn't seem like he likes me very much. I sure have my work cut out for me." Bakugo raised an eyebrow at that. "Step on my stuff." Amari was always a people person, if only a little awkward. Why would Endeavor hate her? And why the hell doesn't he like you? Laughing nervously, Amari smiled. I may have threatened him back at the sports festival." Katsuki's eyes widened at that, dropping the spoon in the bowl in surprise. Amari threatened the number 2 greatest hero? She really was crazy. Processing the words, Bakugo couldn't help but crack a smile at the idea, leaning forward and rubbing the top of her head roughly. That sounded like something he would have done. You actually did that? Damn, Amari. I guess you really are my twin after all. At the contact, Amari froze, unsure of how to process it. His words were filled with such pride and admiration. He just called her his twin. She realized that was the first time he had acknowledged something like that. It almost made her want to cry. Really? Nodding his head, Katsuki then pushed the bowl over to her, smirking. Hell yeah, and here. I thought you were just a wimp, but it looks like you've got some guts as well. You go show that bastard what a bakugo is made of. Amari looked down at the milk for a moment before a soft smile crept onto her lips. Now she knew she couldn't give up, not after those words. Thanks, Katsuki. I will. Now feeling motivation, she stood up from her seat before grabbing the bag next to her and smiling. It was like she couldn't help but feel the overwhelming joy of his encouragement. I'll make you proud. Placing a hand on the table, Bakugo only nodded back. Damn right, you better. When Amari reached the training grounds, Endeavor was already waiting for her. He looked unamused, as always, to be there. Listen, child, it's not too late to back down. My training is not for the faint of heart. I'm sure Shoto has already explained some things. Flashing back to Todoroki's broken words, Amari felt her newfound determination start to bubble within her. And that's exactly why I'm doing this. You can't control me like you think. I'll make you realize that, one step at a time. He only sighed heavily at that, shaking his head at the defiance. Very well. Don't regret your decision. Amari just rolled her eyes at that, watching Todoroki's father step closer to her. Go ahead and try to land a hit on me without using your quirk. Narrowing her features, she complied, already racing forward towards his body in a raging shout. All she had to do was get one hit. Seemed simple enough. What the hell? She swung her fist down, only to have him step to the side, faltering her balance. Using this advantage, he was easily able to counteract her with a swing of his own. Amari gasped, dodging the hit, before he grabbed her arm, pulling it back painfully in an unnatural position. She groaned at this, and fought for his grip to release, but it was no use. He was stronger than her. Then, before she could process it, Endeavor had pushed the poor girl onto her knees, forcing her to bow down in utter humiliation. He won. Damn it! Looking down at her struggling, he spoke. This is your problem. You fight recklessly, without disregard to anything else. Using that much strength so quickly will only end in your demise. You need to be more calculating. Mari pushed against his body then, gritting her teeth in frustration. She hated the position she was in. It made her feel so powerless. Let me go. But Endeavor only shook his head. A villain wouldn't, so I won't either. In his explanation, Mari hissed. What's the difference? Not enjoying her sass, Endeavor pulled her arm back harder, causing the girl to grit her teeth. Also, I wouldn't recommend insulting the one who has the advantage. What the hell is going on with my mouse? That's extremely foolish. Now, Bakugo, you need to learn how to get out of the hold. Then he released this hold, causing Amari to touch her sore muscles. He really wasn't playing around in the slightest. Let's see how long you last, child. Narrowing her eyes, Amari dusted herself off slowly. Sounds like you are underestimating me again, Endeavor. He thought about this for a moment before answering plainly. All right, fine. If you can manage to get one hit on me before the week is up, then I'll allow you to patrol with Shoto and I. Balling her hands into a hard fist, Amari already knew her answer. Now she had a new mission. You're gonna regret offering that to me. But Endeavor only shrugged before throwing a huge fireball in her direction without warning. Amari gasped and threw up a shield only to have it shatter and break at impact. It was just like when she faced him before. His power was insane. Shit! She coughed at the pain of the shatter, only to have Endeavor throw another fireball, causing another shield to break under the pressure. Seeing her struggling, he only sighed. Your first test is to maintain your quirk without it shattering and breaking. You need to build up your endurance. He then started to throw multiple spits of fire at her, causing her to quickly defend herself to not be burned. He really wanted her to fail. Amari groaned as she blocked another attack, the gold matter shattering during impact and pain exploding in her chest. Endeavor seemed unimpressed by this, though. Is that all you can do? Narrowing her eyes in anger, she tried again, this time with more focus, and when the impact hit, the shield didn't shatter, although she couldn't deny that it did hurt immensely to take the impact. Seeing her struggle, he pushed against her power only to have her falter and tumble to the ground with a hard thud. It was still too weak. Stop letting your emotions control your quirk. You have much to learn. Amari groaned, already picking herself back up and wiping a drop of blood from the corner of her mouth. This week wasn't going to be easy. What the hell was that? Endeavor came in the next morning only to find Amari running laps and training by herself already. It made him wonder how long she had been there. It was pretty early in the morning after all. The days following, he pushed her in her training, but Amari wouldn't falter. No matter what he tried and said, only focusing on the matter at hand. Throwing a fireball in her direction, Amari shielded herself, now feeling less of a strain from the impact. He seemed surprised by this. She was improving. He tried to push against her power like before, but found the girl more stable this time, pushing him back with her own strength. Focus on maintaining your quirk. That's it. Narrowing her eyes in concentration, Endeavor saw her veins popping out of her skin, taking everything within her to just maintain his power. She gritted her teeth at the sensation as he spoke. Focus, Bakugo. He pushed back harder, causing one of her steps to falter. No, not this again. He wouldn't beat her like this. Well, that's what she thought before his power grew closer and closer to her face. Thinking back to her brother and Todoroki's encouragement, Amari knew she couldn't lose and found herself firmly planting her feet on the ground before eyeing him seriously. Then, with everything she had, Amari screamed, pushing back towards Todoroki's father with her quirk. Focused on the love and encouragement that had filled her life the last couple of days, it felt different than her anger. You won't beat me again. Endeavor had just enough time to widen his eyes in surprise when the shield in front of him grew to about double his size, pushing the man off his feet and being swept away by her power. Breathing heavily, Amari let her arms fall. They felt like solid lead bricks now as she eyed Todoroki's father, standing in shock a couple feet away. Then she noticed him move his finger up to brush his cheek, causing her to freeze. There, on his skin, was a small cut. Had she created that? It wasn't much, but that little hit meant so much to Amari. I did it. I won. Hearing her words, Endeavor sighed. Don't get too cocky. A small hit like that is nothing to celebrate over. He said that, but Todoroki's father couldn't help but be surprised by this little girl's power. Maybe she was right. He did underestimate her. Taking a step forward, she crossed her arms across her chest, ignoring the weight in her limbs. He was trying to turn this around on her, but that wasn't going to happen. It doesn't matter. You better keep your promise, Endeavor. Recalling back a couple days ago, he internally sighed, looking like he was going to have to babysit her tonight. After all, I am a man of my word. Amari couldn't help but smile at his words. Before he told her that only the most capable of his team were able to patrol, it was like for the first time he was recognizing her talent. Just then, the door to their right slammed open, revealing Todoroki, and Rai blinked in surprise at his presence. Shoto, what are you doing here? He took one look at his father before turning back to Amari. I'm taking a break. You should as well. Recalling her sore arms, Amari knew she couldn't give up now. Oh, that's okay. You have fun, though. Yet it seemed he wasn't taking no for an answer, already reaching forward to grab her arm. Then he turned to his father before stating, She's taking a break. Before his father could answer, Todoroki had already dragged the girl out from the training room and down the hall. Shoto, I said it's okay. Todoroki stopped then, recalling her fight with his father a couple days ago. He knew she was pushing herself again. When was the last time you relaxed? I already told you, you need to take care of yourself. The words seemed strange in her mind. He did have a point. She had been so focused on beating his father. When was the last break she took? All right, I'm sorry. He sighed heavily at that, taking a water bottle out of his bag and throwing it in her direction. Here. Here, drink. Amari complied as a couple sidekicks passed the two of them, although the whispers they share were far different than the ones he first heard a couple days ago. Back then, when Amari passed them, they would chuckle and sneer in her direction, calling her cheating or shrimp. But now she was known to them as the one that challenged their boss, the one who was just insane enough to personally train with him. She had done that. They walked to a grassy area on the rooftop when Todoroki noticed a small circle under her eyes. When was the last time she slept? Sitting down on the surface, he called down to her. Amari, come here. Narrowing her eyes in confusion, she listened, plopping herself down next to him quietly. Okay. Then, once she was seated, he pushed her head down so that it was laying on his lap. Maybe this will help her relax. Amari thought Amari, though, was just too embarrassed at the action, already feeling pink swirl around her cheeks. What are you doing? You don't have to do this. I already said I'm fine. She paused, though, when she felt his fingers running through her hair, relaxing her all at once. Just relax, Amari. I want to do it at least this much for you. You work so hard. It's okay to close your eyes, just for a moment. I'll be right here. His words swept through her, causing her body to hum with acceptance. I guess so, but only for a minute. Closing her eyes, Amari focused on the sound breeze, although with the motion of his hand. When was the last time she relaxed like this? It was almost like she could fall asleep. She thought about the idea for a moment when a couple voices shook her out of her lulled state, focusing on them instead. Hey, look, it's that girl, the one who's training personally with the boss. I hear she challenged him in front of the entire agency. The other voice next to him only laughed, though. Come on, you don't believe those rumors, do you? Just look at them. It's so obvious the boss offered that because of her relation to his son. Talk about cheating. Their words brought an uncomfortable sensation in her stomach all at once. Those jerks could say anything they want about her, but she wouldn't let them assume such things about Todoroki. He noticed her unease and lightly touched her face, not understanding what had brought it on. Amari, what's wrong? Opening her eyes, she gazed at him sadly before turning away. I was right. We can't do this here. They already think I used our relationship to get ahead. Now they're saying that you used some kind of underhanded tactics as well. I hate it. Todoroki took in her words, turning to stare at the people she was referring to. Why was she this affected by what others thought of him? He honestly couldn't care less. To prove this point, Amari opened her mouth to speak again when it was cut off by his lips, leaning down and colliding with hers suddenly. She widened her eyes at the action but didn't turn away, only feeling surprised and caught off guard. He pulled away then, and the embarrassment set in all at once, causing Amari to cover her face with her hands, in an attempt to hide her surprised expression from him. Although the action only worried the boy, thinking he had somehow done something wrong. Maybe he was too forceful. Amari, what's wrong? I'm sorry. But she shook her head on his lap, muttering quickly in her hands. No, it's okay. Don't apologize. I was just caught off guard. That's all. Feeling the need to see her face even more now, Todoroki lightly covered her hand before forcing her fingers away from her face. He didn't want to think she was crying or anything like that. That would break his heart. Then let me see. She reluctantly uncovered her face only for Todoroki to freeze, now seeing her reddened and embarrassed expression under him all at once. The reveal was too much, now mimicking her expression and accidentally having his fireside appear on his hand at the action. He pulled away just in time, luckily, only to have her turn away again. I'm sorry, you just don't give me enough time to pull myself together. I wasn't expecting a surprise attack like that. Although her face looked far more embarrassed than a surprised attack. It was like they had kissed for the first time, even though that wasn't remotely true. Amari, we've done this 4 times already. There's no need to be that embarrassed. Nodding her head in understanding, she replied, Yeah, I know, but... Then she stopped herself, recalling what he just said. Did he just say 4 times? That didn't seem right. Wait, 4? I thought it was 2. Todoroki froze at that, recalling the other 2 times that she didn't remember. During the USJ attack, I fed you your medicine while you were unconscious. Thinking back, Amari nodded her head. Okay, that wasn't bad. That made sense. Okay, that's okay. But then he continued. And then, back on your birthday, remember when I said I came to visit? Amari nodded back, not sure where this was going. She couldn't remember anything on her birthday, except that weird dream she had. And then the pieces clicked. Oh no. In her dream, she attacked him. Please don't tell her that was real. Oh God, was that real? I attacked you. Todoroki blinked in surprise, not expecting her to remember. You remembered? His response didn't make her feel any better. Already rising from his lap in utter and complete embarrassment. I just thought it was a bad dream. I can't believe I jumped you like that. Oh God, I'm so sorry. Why were you even friends with me? Were you even friends with me after that? Grabbing onto his shirt, Todoroki just placed a hand on hers. Why wouldn't I be? Mari shook her head at that, muttering to herself loudly. Because I jumped you. I'm so terrible. I'm never drinking again. She seemed really upset by the realization, so Todoroki only did the one thing he could do. He leaned forward and kissed her without warning, just like what she did on that night. She stopped speaking after that, causing him to reply. There. Now we are even. Mari stood silent for a moment before casting her eyes away, a hard blush appearing. That's not fair. God damn it. She was saying that, but Amari felt her body grow closer and closer, ignoring the other side kicks that might have been watching. You shouldn't. They might be watching. Who knows what they'll think? Although Todoroki only put a loving hand to her face, his voice dropping lower and sending a shiver across her spine. I don't care what they say. Amari closed her eyes in the moment when Katsu appeared in front of them, looking unamused. The boss is looking for you. You two can flirt another time. They flushed with embarrassment, breaking away as Amari stood up. Calm down, I'm coming. Then she turned to Todoroki sharply before smiling. Oh right, I forgot to tell you, I'll be patrolling with you later. I finally got Endeavor to agree. He seemed surprised by this. His father wasn't one to give up easily. Wait, how? Although she only smirked, threw a wink in his direction. Oh, Shoto, were you underestimating me? Blinking in surprise at her response, he could only smile back. Of course not. I've always been aware of how amazing you are. Amari froze then, not knowing how to respond. What? I was trying to be the cool one. You can't turn it around on me, jerk. Katsu rolled his eyes in response. Are you finished? The boss doesn't like to be caught waiting. Blushing in response, Amari nodded her head, now embarrassed that he caught the display. Right, sorry. See you later tonight? Shoto just nodded his head in response, watching her leave. He still couldn't believe that Amari had gotten his father to change his mind. She really was amazing, although somewhere in the back of his mind, Todoroki couldn't help but get an unpleasant feeling in his stomach. It was like this was just the calm before the storm. Chapters. Okay. I need to end here because I'm tired and I got more studying to do tomorrow, so I need sleep. Check her out. She's a good writer. And you will hear me in the next video. Bye-bye.